I'm gonna be launching Performance Nut Butter Cacao on Amazon next week, and I wanna share with you my launch strategy because what I'm doing is way different from what most people do when they're launching a product on Amazon. I'm not gonna be doing any giveaways. I'm not gonna be doing any of that black hat stuff. There's 5 things that I'm gonna be doing to launch this product and try to get it to page 1 from basically day 1 of launching it. And I'll talk about all these in depth in just a second, but I do have 2 big announcements. The first is, well, obviously, I finally got the pallets, I finally got the finished product of Performance Nut Butter Cacao, which is huge. And part of that is next week, May 19th, when I launch Performance Nut Butter Cacao, I'm gonna be doing a full day YouTube Live. And on the YouTube Live, basically every hour on the hour, I'm gonna be sharing exactly how many sales I'm getting. I'm gonna be showing you behind the scenes what it's actually like to launch an Amazon product, so you can see basically like what a day in the life of an Amazon entrepreneur is. And I'm gonna be doing throughout the day Q&As, and I think I'm gonna start this around 7 a.m. PST, go to around 5 p.m. PST, which is basically my full day. So anytime next week, May 19th, jump on my YouTube channel, come jump on the live, and let's hang out. So that's the first announcement. Second announcement is, if you do want to get into my Amazon FBA course, then there's only 5 spots left. It's closing tonight at midnight. There's a link down below with more information. But the point of this video is to share with you exactly my launch strategy. And I've spent a lot of time, a lot of energy in trying to figure out the best way to launch this product. I want to share with you everything behind the scenes here. So the first thing I want to make very clear is that most people do this wrong. Most of the Amazon gurus, they haven't studied internet marketing properly. They've studied how to launch on Amazon, but what I'm gonna teach you is how to actually launch a product. And the same principles are true no matter if you're launching a product on Amazon, if you're launching a course, if you're doing a movie premiere, if you're doing a book launch, it doesn't matter, because human psychology is the same no matter what type of a product you're launching. And there's a few principles I'm gonna talk about throughout this entire video. And one of the first things I wanna make very clear is it's all about the buildup. It's all about months before you launch the product. It's about getting people interested in your idea. Then maybe a few weeks before, letting them know when the launch date is, and getting the hype up, getting them excited, so that when you finally do go to launch your product, people are banging at your door, banging on Amazon's door, trying to go in and buy your product. So really go from the point of view of how do you build up the hype. Think about like a movie launch. Think about if tomorrow the newest, greatest Star Wars movie came out and no one knew about it and it was just kind of like an instant thing. It would do well, but it wouldn't do as well as it would if they did a whole long buildup. So it's all about that buildup. That's the first thing. The second thing is a Facebook group. Facebook group, I've talked about this in a ton of my other videos, so I won't go into too much detail right here. But what you need to do is you need to get a group of people. You need to get a tribe of people that are going to go along the journey with you. And the whole point of a Facebook group is to start getting raving fans before you ever launch on Amazon. And the point of the Facebook group, again, is to help you design your product. So you can ask them questions, hey, which logo do you like the best? You can ask them questions of like, what should the packaging look like? And they're gonna give you answers. They're gonna help you out in so much more detail than you possibly think. You can also send them, for instance, if it's a food product, different samples to try, and they'll help you to figure out like what your flavor should be. But the key thing here is you're bringing them along on the journey so that on the day that you go to launch it, they're invested. I've had so many people reach out to me and say, hey, I just launched a Kickstarter. Do you want to go support it? And my thought is, no, I don't know anything about you. I don't know anything about your struggles. But if that same person would have told me 3 months ago, I'm working on this thing, and then 2 months later, they're saying, hey, it's going to come out in a month, and they brought me on, by the time they finally launched, I'd be excited for them. I'd want that product. And here's another principle of human psychology, is that we want things that we can't have. And the whole point of the launch is letting people know it's gonna be coming out soon, you can't have it yet. And then so by the time they finally can have it, they're like, yes, please, I want this. And this is one of the reasons for my Amazon course, I don't open it, it's not constantly open. I only open it up every once in a while, and then I close it within a week of opening. And that's why I'm closing it tonight at midnight, is because I don't want people to think they can get it whenever they want. This is a rare opportunity. I want to let them know that. And the same is true with anything in life. You want people to know that this is a scarce opportunity. So the Facebook group is a great way to do this. Another way to do this is an email list. And an email list is one of those things you need to be doing. Again, this is a core principle to internet marketing most Amazon gurus don't talk about because maybe they're not familiar with how the rest of the internet works. And so what you want to be doing is you want to have some kind of social media, some kind of way to get people's attention and capture emails. And you could do this on Instagram, you could do this on YouTube, you could do this by writing blog posts, you could go to all your friends and family, get their emails, but whatever you do, get a lot of emails. And what you're gonna do is, again, leading up to the launch, a month before, a week before, 5 days before, the day of, all that kind of stuff, you're gonna be releasing emails, letting them know. At the same time, you should be posting to Instagram, you should be posting to your Facebook group, sharing it on your personal Facebook. You could have a podcast or a YouTube channel, whatever it is. And another key here is you want as many touch points as possible, because a potential customer, when they go on the Instagram app, you want them to see that your product launch is 1 week away, like mine is. Like I posted my video, a video I did on Instagram. You want to post it to Facebook. I did that as well. Whatever platform makes sense for you, you want to let your customers know on as many of those platforms as possible that your product's going to be coming out soon. And this leads me to another thing I'm doing for the launch of my product. I actually started a podcast, which might sound crazy to a lot of people out there. You started a podcast to launch your product on Amazon. Again, this is like one of those outside the box thinking things that if you're gonna be launching on Amazon in 2020 and beyond, you need to be doing. And so what I would recommend is, it doesn't have to be a podcast, but the reason I did a podcast was not only so I could get listeners, not only so I could get an audience and market to them. The reason I did it, the bigger reason, was to connect with influencers. Now imagine this. Imagine you send a cold email out to an influencer and say, hey, will you share a post about my product on your Instagram, on your YouTube? The answer is gonna be no, or it's gonna be yeah for $1,000. Now let's flip this. What if instead you say, hey, you know what? I bet you want to spread your message. I bet you want to share with the world how amazing you are. I'd love to interview you because you are so cool. Would you want to come on my podcast so you can spread your message? The answer is more likely to be yes, because there's something in it for them. Then after an hour-long conversation where you go in depth talking about how amazing they are, at the end of that, you say, hey, can I send you a free box? So again, you're doing something nice for them of my product. And the answer is probably going to be yes. Like, who says no to free stuff? And then if they like your product and they think it's awesome, of course they're gonna post about it on their Instagram because you've developed a relationship with them. And that brings me to number 5, which is influencers. And one of the things I'm doing for the launch of Performance Nut Butter Cacao is I'm sending out a bunch of free product to micro influencers. These are people that are willing to do a post in exchange for a free product. I'm not paying them. These are people, a lot of the people that I'm using are just people I contacted on Instagram, just people I sent cold emails to via YouTube. Obviously, if you want to get higher level people, you might want to try what I talked about before with the podcasting situation. But this is something I'm doing. I'm going to be sending out something like 85 boxes for free to influencers. And I highly recommend, if you're launching a product on Amazon, the day that you launch it, you should be having all those influencers post at the same day, more or less the same time. And another element that I was kind of alluding to earlier, there needs to be some kind of scarcity with your launch. And what I recommend doing is, for the first week that you're launching a product, discount it. My product's normally going to be $27.99. For 1 week only, it's $19.99. Again, this is the scarcity. You want to help people realize this is a scarce opportunity, and you want to let them know you're not gonna be able to get this forever. You better act quickly. And again, this is why, as I mentioned, not only with my course is it only open for a week, the other thing I do with my course, and you can maybe somehow implement this into your Amazon listing, is I only allow 20 people to join at a time, which means that, you know what, if you don't act quickly, you might lose out on that opportunity. And I will say right now, there's about 5 spaces left. So if you do want to join the course, I would act fast. And there's more details I'll put in the link down below. But one thing also I want to talk about is on Thursday, in 2 days from this, I'm going to be doing a much more in-depth video talking about step by step what I'm doing to launch. So make sure to come back on Thursday to watch that really in-depth video. And if you want to see live what I'm actually doing for the launch of Performance Nut Butter Cacao, you can join my Performance Nut Butter launch group, and you can join my email list. I'll put links to both those down below just so you can see what I'm doing. And obviously I'm gonna hope that I can convince you to buy a box and leave a review, because that's the key to launching on Amazon, is to get as many sales, as many 5-star reviews as soon as possible. And another thing, bonus tip I recommend doing, is do everything possible you can to get those sales, to get those reviews. I'm hoping people will support the brand, support what I'm doing on Amazon, and also that helps support me. So I'll keep making the YouTube videos that I'm doing. So if you want to join the Facebook group and email list, links are down below. Also, as one last reminder, remember the course closes tonight. So if you want to be one of those people that get to join and like learn my method for creating products and selling on Amazon, make sure you do that as soon as possible. Thank you guys, and remember to enjoy the journey. It's not always gonna be easy. It was a big struggle to get Performance Nut Butter Cacao ready, but it's finally here. I'm so excited.